Let us now discuss Nyaya philosophy. Nyaya system comes under the orthodox system of Indian philosophy as it accepts the authority of the Veda. Let me start by giving a brief historical background. The Nyaya school is founded by sage Gautama, who composed Nyaya Sutras. Gautama is also known by the name of Akshapada. The word Nyaya means correct thinking with proper arguments and valid reasoning. Thus, Nyaya philosophy is known as Tarka Shastra or the science of reasoning, and also Pramana Shastra, the science of logic and epistemology. It is also known as Hetu Vidya, the science of causes, Vada Vidya, the science of debate, and Anvikshiki, the science of critical study. The Nyaya philosophy, as a practitioner and believer of realism, seeks for acquiring knowledge of reality. Let us now look at the people who contributed for the development of Nyaya system. Vatsyayana has commented on the Nyaya Sutras of Gautama and it is called Nyaya Vasya. After that, Udyotakara has written Nyaya Vartika. After that, Vachaspati Mishra came, who was a Nyaya scholar, and he wrote Nyaya Vartika Tatparyatika, which is a commentary to the work of Udyotakara. Next comes Udayana, who wrote Nyaya Vartika Tatparya Parisuddhi and Kusumanjali. Nyaya philosophy is categorized under Prachina Nyaya and Navya Nyaya. Prachina Nyaya is ancient, and whereas Navya Nyaya is relatively modern. Gangesha, who wrote Tattva Chintamani, is the founder of modern Nyaya, and he makes the distinction between Prachina Nyaya and Navya Nyaya. Let me now talk about Nyaya epistemology. The Nyaya school of thought can be called as atomistic pluralism and logical realism. It is atomistic pluralism as Nyaya considers atom as the constituent of matter, and there is not one but many entities, both material and spiritual, which are the ultimate constituents of the universe. The Nyaya system, by holding pluralistic standpoints, refutes materialistic and spiritualistic monism. The Nyaya philosophy holds the doctrine that the world exists independently from our perceptions and knowledge. And further, this independent existence of the world can be defended not by our faith or intuition, but by the logical arguments and critical reflection on the nature of experience. Thus, it is logical realism because, according to them, the world exists independently of the human beings. The Nyaya philosophy recognizes 16 categories or padarthas. The first category is known as pramana, which focuses on the logical and epistemological character of the Nyaya system. It professes that there are 4 independent pramanas or sources of valid knowledge. These are perception or pratyaksha, inference or anumana, comparison or upamana, verbal testimony or shabda. Let me now dive into the nature and classification of knowledge according to Nyaya. The Nyaya system is primarily concerned with the conditions of valid thought and the means of acquiring true knowledge of objects. The true knowledge of objects is the sure way and means through which we can get the highest end of our life. The Nyaya theory of knowledge has three aspects: psychological, logical, and philosophical. Knowledge in the widest sense means any means of cognizing objects. But all cognitions or buddhi are not valid knowledge or prama. In order to explain the term knowledge or jnana, Nyaya took two perspectives. One is epistemological and the other is metaphysical. Let us first look at the epistemological perspective, according to which knowledge or cognition is the revelation or manifestation of objects. Nyaya defines knowledge or jnana as apprehension or upalabdhi or consciousness, anubhava or awareness of objects. Knowledge reveals or manifests all objects just as the light of a lamp reveals all physical objects. The object of apprehension may be a thing, quality, an act, an emotion, an existent and a non-existent. But in all cases, knowledge means there must be something that stands out as the object of our knowledge. Thus, knowledge consists simply in the manifestation of objects. Without knowledge, we lose the ground of all rational practice and intelligent activity. On the basis of knowledge, living beings deal with other objects of the phenomenal world. Knowledge may be called as the behavior or conduct of living beings. Knowledge of myself, that is the introspection of myself, is distinguished from intellect, volitions, desire, etc. In introspection, self is the object of knowledge. Although knowledge is distinguishable, but it is not separate from feeling, volition, desire. I am knowing means I am desiring or willing or simply being pleased or displeased with it. Thus, knowledge is a cognitive fact by which we have an apprehension or understanding of objects. Let us now come to the metaphysical perspective of knowledge according to Nyaya philosophy. There are three questions which are important while explaining the term knowledge under the metaphysical perspective. The first one is that, is the knowledge a mode or an activity? The second one is it a relation or something other than relation? The third one is knowledge a substance or an attribute? I will try to discuss all these things in the next part of the series on Nyaya philosophy.